welcome back to a movie watching podcast. This is Cody Michael. I'm joined as always by Seth Ott.
Hello.
And Jared Buckendahl.
Quack, quack, quack.
Quack, quack, quack. We are back to talk about Howard the Duck. And we chose this one. Jared, a couple weeks ago, picked bird movies as our topic. We went through and found none of us had seen Howard the Duck, which I don't know if you knew this, Jared, but the duck is, of course, my favorite bird. Not a lot of people know that one, but there's a fun fact for your trivia competitions.
Ooh, okay.
Howard the Duck was a good pick, I thought. Howard the Duck now has kind of come back around in the pop culture and in the zeitgeist, kind of post 2010. There was a little animated series, I think like Seth Green. And in my head, it's Seth Green. I don't know how long that's been the case or if he's ever voiced him. But to me, that's kind of the generation of Howard the Duck that I'm used to. So this was a little strange for me tonally when I put on Howard the Duck. Seth, I think you saw this first out of the three of us, and you said, if you've got some sports enhancers for this one, go ahead and give them a shot. This is one of the strangest movies that I've seen in a long time. I had to keep reminding myself that this is the 80s. I'm like, this is the 80s, Cody.
Crazy time. Cocaine fueled for sure.
There was a couple times where I had to stop and think, who is this for?
Yes.
And this is rated PG.
Yes.
Which is shocking. And I'll tell you why. And I can't believe I get to say this. Did you guys notice the duck titties in the first?
In the first like 5 minutes, you see like two pair, and I'm like, what is happening? What is this movie? This is not a children's movie.
And I was gonna put that as my 5-point bet.
You should have. Instant win.
You say that. I have written on my thing, my backup bet was that there would be a Playboy parody that was featured, and there was a play duck in the opening scene for sure. So I gave up a point on that one by not picking that bet.
There were a lot of like duck parodies or duck puns in that opening, because you just mentioned that was going to be one of your bets. One of my other bets was going to be there's going to be an Indiana Jones parody, because this is George Lucas associated movie, and boom, in the first 3 minutes it's just boom, Indiana Jones right there.
Yeah, they got. I would have loved to have spent even more time on Duck World.
Yep,
because
I agree.
The duck puns were for me a highlight, and I guess I assumed that that's where they'd be getting most of the comedy in the movie, and I guess kind of that was the case, because once they left Duck World, I wasn't laughing like a lot of the time.
No, I don't think. If anything, very uncomfortable and uncomfortably aroused ?
Well, yeah, it depends on how comfortable you are with like paper mache on whether or not you can get up for it for the Leah Thompson in her underwear scene. But
man,
I don't know. That's so Gina happened to be in the room while that was happening, and during that scene there's like 3 men just walk into the room and start a conversation. And she's like, I would be screaming at these guys like.
And that, I'm going to be honest, that scene comes fast. They're just talking. Then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. She's wearing underwear. She's just wearing this lacy top. What is happening?
She don't mess around. It didn't take her long to get my Michael J. Fox into that car either.
No. And that's the thing. Wasn't this movie this was definitely after Back to the Future, right?
Pretty quickly afterwards. Yeah.
Man, what a drastic change.
I caught myself wondering here what Leah Thompson's representation was thinking. And I think, I don't know, but I wonder if the singing was a big draw for her, because they got to do the rock band thing. She performed a lot of the songs herself. So I wonder if she really wanted to have a singing role maybe. I can't imagine she was stoked on the idea of making out with the duck. But then they also got Tim Robbins in this. You could seriously win some trivia contests with Howard the Duck knowledge, because Tim Robbins, if anybody out there is ever like going through a hard time in life, just remember that in 1986, Tim Robbins was making Howard the Duck. And then in 94, he got to be in The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
So patience and stay working, because he is he bad in this, or is the character just so over the top that we shouldn't judge him fairly?
I think he was a goofy fun, but I think that no one said no to him.
Put Meryl Streep in this thing, and I don't think she's going to come out looking any better than he did in that role.
I suppose that's a fair point.
One thing, I'm looking at my notes over here. Did any of you guys, when he's getting launched through the space, and then that announcer or whatever is like the cosmos, this, that, did anyone get the Watcher vibes from What If?
Oh, maybe
Because I was like,
the
is that
Watcher.
what they're going for, or did What If get inspiration from that? Or am I just digging into patterns that don't exist?
Are you trying to get one of your bets?
No. That's not one of my bets at all. No. I noticed that instantly. I was like, huh, the voiceover is odd, and just the phrasing and everything.
Just all so weird.
Yeah. Like when he in that scene where he's like getting a job, I wrote down, why did he want to bite that woman's butt? Was it a pervert thing? Was it an anger thing? Like, I didn't understand the motivation.
That was definitely one. I literally wrote that down. I had a physical notebook by me, and I literally wrote down, he definitely tried to bite her ass.
Yeah. I was like, why?
I mean, I've had that feeling before. I can't really explain it to you, Jared, if you haven't felt it, but I know what he's all about there.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh my God. I was really hoping we would see more of Satan's Sluts, the biker gang from the early part.
Yeah.
That's, by the way, next time we play trivia, I think we should go with that for our name.
Weirdly, this has like the like you're saying that biker gang. It feels like this world, again, it's the 80s. It's maybe just all 80s, but this feels like it's in the same world as the Super Mario Brothers movie, and also, oh my gosh, I just lost it.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
The other one I thought of, which probably isn't what you're thinking of. The other one I thought of was Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Yes.
Because the visual effects department had a blast with this one. They were way over the top with a lot of their shit, and it was pretty crazy. I loved it though, and the creature design was wild.
Yeah. The ending villain guy just slowly turning into a weird dude. Is that part of Howard the Duck lore? I don't know.
We really should give it the villain, by the way, who is he is played here by Jeffrey Jones. He is. Does he make the movie? I don't know if he wants. But I don't know if that's a compliment or not that he makes the movie. This guy is nuts.
He's also in Beetlejuice.
Like,
he's in. Yeah, you'd know who he is or whatever.
Yeah, he's been in a few other 80s movies as like the teacher or the dad or whatever, and after that too. But he. I really wish I could see the raw footage because everything he does is in post.
Yeah.
So he's literally just standing there screaming most of the time and pointing at stuff.
And the most insane electricity comes from his body.
Yeah.
Oh, and just the voice. Everything about him was just mwah. Chef's kiss for just an 80s, completely over the top. I think he started to remind me of Koopa from or from Mario Bros. Mm-hmm. That's what first put that in my head. And then the plasma beams from Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, yep, I can see that.
That must have been the state of the art of visual effects at the time.
The other movie that I forgot earlier, Pee Wee Herman. Like it feels like there's like a wackiness that feels like this is in the world of Pee Wee Herman.
Yep.
Very Pee Wee. I kind of thought that he was going to turn into Robotnik. I didn't know. He looked like him for a little bit.
He did. Man, we very much had similar thoughts watching this movie.
Oh, by the way, my favorite line of the movie, he says, I feel like something is inside me eating its way out. And she says, what'd you have for lunch?
Yeah.
Good old gastronomical humor, whatever that is.
Gastroenterology.
Yeah, there you go. Gastroenterology. I'm not going to try it again.
Good
old gastro humor. Man, I gotta say, I missed the tone on this from my assumption by 10 miles. I didn't really know what this. I don't know if this was like. If this was a wacky comedy that just didn't seem very wacky to me because it was from another time, or if it was meant to play more serious but felt wacky because of the effects and the costume, or if it kept kind of missing the thing that it seemed like it was trying to do to me, which made me think. Ultimately, what I came out of this thinking was, there somebody who watched this when they were like 9, this is their favorite movie they've ever seen, and when they watch it again, they're going to be bummed.
Yep. I had a thought that I was like, if I was a kid in the 80s, I would have loved this movie.
Oh, I mean, this is a never-ending story. I mean, pick it from whenever you were a kid. We've all got ours. I'm not surprised this one doesn't pop back up as much as the others, though. Probably the duck boobs.
Probably.
So, not only did we miss on the tone here, we did not have a great betting outing here. We will start here with our 1-pointers. Seth, you got the easy one right off the bet didn't hit right off the bat, but we had high confidence that it would. We had Howard. He needed to play at least one musical instrument. I think he played 2, right? Yeah. We had a keyboard early in the movie, and then he absolutely shreds on the guitar, which is kind of funny because does he have fingers?
I think he did.
I think so, yeah.
He does have fingers? Okay.
They were more like nubs, hairy, feathery nubs, maybe.
Hairy, feathery nubs.
Yeah.
There you go. He's got Seth penises on his hand. He plays the shit out of a guitar with them, though. Jared, I was bummed we did not get our Stan Lee cameo here. At least I don't think so. Did you see him in the background?
No, not at all. Not even on I thought like his name, something on a comic book at least, but nothing.
I saw on Reddit that he was rumored to have been the duck titty girl, but we have no way of confirming.
Jesus,
true believer, like a thief.
Excelsior.
I'm never gonna unsee that. That bothers me so much.
What? Yeah, believe me, we could just talk about the kookiness of why you didn't why.
They paid a lot. They actually probably paid a lot of way more money than they should have in the 80s whenever this came out to pay for that. That was a conscious decision. That wasn't just let's have fun with this.
I didn't even thought of that.
They made a conscious decision, and someone had to design.
And it's not like that's a quick design. That took that took days, fitting, measuring.
They had to do multiple takes. Oh. Anyway,
I wonder where that costume is now.
Yeah, I wonder. We should find it. That'd be funny. Moving on. My 1-pointer. Okay, I'm gonna need a judgment here. So my 1-pointer was that we would get a reference to another famous duck. The examples I gave were Daffy and Donald. I'm going to submit 2 what I think may have been references. You guys can tell me. So, 1, Daffy Duck, there was a Looney Tune playing in the background. And so you can spot Daffy Duck. They don't allude to him or point at him in anything, but he is in the back. And then secondly, when Tim Robbins first meets Howard and he's being incredibly rude to him by assuming that he is unintelligent, he starts talking to him like Donald Duck in order to get him to understand. Do I get my point for either one or both of those as a reference to another famous duck?
I guess my only thing with that is that neither are named or referenced by a character.
Right. And that was my hang up.
Yeah, and I can't remember if that was specific to the bet or not. Jared, what do you think?
I mean, I kind of want to give him on the Donald Duck impression or whatever, but does he specify Donald Duck?
And see, I would be more. My thought was more of the Daffy Duck being in it, but it's not actually referenced in that. I think it's just
if they would have stopped and looked at the TV, then it would have
Daffy Duck. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And in full disclosure, the spirit of the bet was I anticipated someone would basically call him Daffy or Doc
Okay.
as a gang. So that wasn't it. And so
Man, I'm surprised. That seems like such like low fruit, easy joke.
again, and we're gonna find this on a lot more of the bets. I feel like we thought we were gonna get a lot more duck puns and a lot more like pop culture stuff because that's pretty squarely what his character kind of is now. But that was not yet the case apparently, or they changed him a lot for this movie. I didn't read the comic. But we get into our 3-point bets, and spoiler alert, we're gonna go over here. Seth wanted to see at least one reference to Duck Duck Goose. We did not get Duck Duck Goose. We got Duck Duck Titties, but no Duck Duck Goose, which is frustrating. Jared was looking for 2 famous heroes or villains being referenced, and again, unless you saw some Easter eggs, J-Buck, I didn't hear him mention Captain America.
No, nothing. No Easter eggs, nothing.
There's like no Marvel.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even any branding at the top. None of it. I held out hope all the way through here because I thought maybe I was going for a quote call. I was hoping that someone would say the line "duck you," and they did not.
Yeah, I was surprised that again. That's such an easy one that I'm surprised that they didn't put in the script.
I mean, there was a lot of them though. There was a lot of those types of jokes, like Quack Foo.
Yeah.
So actually, after he said Quack Foo, I remembered that one is directly out of the comics.
Yeah.
His Quack Foo is like what he cites as his powers. I don't know if that's a joke or if it's actually some sort of special fighting he does. But the Quack Foo is a thing.
Okay.
What is not a thing was Seth's 5-point bet, which was Quack Attack. And again, I thought we would get the Quack Attack. There was a couple scenes where it looked like he was revving up for one.
Like, cause he fights right off the bat in the movie. Like once he gets to Earth, and I was like, oh yeah, I think that's where he said Quack Foo, and I'm like, here it comes, Quack Attack, and never came.
No. By the way, though, shout out Leah Thompson. She gets some licks in that fight. No Kirsten Dunst here. She smacks. Well, Kirsten Dunst smacks the shit out of those guys in that scene too. Never mind. I shouldn't have hit Kirsten Dunst with a stray there.
How dare you?
Shout out to both those lovely heroines for beating the shit out of alley guys before Spider-Man and Howard show up.
How would you describe me? An alley guy.
I'm an alley.
Just an alley guy. Wait for a woman to walk by, grab her, get beat up by a superhero. Kind
of like trash.
It is very 80s how the shorthand of everyone just immediately being horrible to Howard and like nobody asking a question is just very funny. It's very 80s style discrimination. It's heartwarming. Here's another one that again, I think it would have been fair to question whether this was even worth 5 points before we made the bet coming into it. But by the end of the movie, I thought, well, I don't think these people understand what they're making. We did not have Howard actually interacting with a real duck, did we?
No, not at all.
How does that not happen in this?
I don't know. Again, I feel like there's so many jokes that were the jokes that made the movie very odd here or there, and the stuff that didn't, I was like, it seems so obvious, so easy. The thing though, in when he picks up the purse that is a duck, like in my mind, that's exactly the interaction he would have had with a real duck, and I was like, oh yeah, they're not gonna have a real duck. They're not gonna redo that joke. The purse was that joke.
Maybe they probably wanted to save on the budget because they needed to make that giant scorpion thing shoot lightning out of its face.
What the hell was that?
What the hell? Now, I thought that was a pretty badass looking creature. I just don't know why it's in Howard the Duck.
Agreed. I would say creature design was off the charts.
Oh my God. I really thought this was my bet. My 5-point bet was that the final battle would be Howard having to fight against an evil version of himself. And I really thought that a duck was going to alien its way out of that man. When he said something's trying to fight its way out of me, I thought it was going to be like a black duck. And I was like, here we go. No, it turns out it was nothing except a weird voice, lightning powers, and then eventually a gigantic scorpion monster with more lightning powers.
And
his goal was to bring down his scorpion homies to impregnate Leah Thompson so that they could take. You lose me. You lose me. I don't know. Is that the Holy Tribunal? Is that a Marvel thing? Are we supposed to know them?
I have no clue. It feels like I I would assume that it's in the comic book or something, but also part of me, like, just from the '80s, I'm like, they just threw in generic random villain. Someone was working on some special effects or a model, and they're like, "Hey, do you wanna use this?"
Yeah, honestly.
I did
We just came up with outline a guy. You want some outline a guy? Oh, fuck yeah, I want outline a guy. Give me 25 minutes of outline a guy. I want all of it. I want it in red and blue.
Yeah. What about purple? We got purple too. Oh, man. There was a time and place where when he said he was calling down other buddies, I thought Howard himself was gonna be possessed by one of them for, like, a brief minute of
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Oh, no, the heroes turn villain quick."
That would be fun. And then Leah Thompson would have to play some rock music to we should just rewrite Howard the Duck. I bet we could do it with AI. We could just remake it, put in the duck puns that we want, take out the duck titties, and
Put in
fix
more.
the ending.
Put in more.
Just copy, paste, 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 paste. I think we could get this up to a 40 on Rotten Tomatoes if we remade it. What do you guys think? Man. Well, just so you know, the actual result is 13 right now on Tomatoes. Did not look that up beforehand.
Classic.
Yeah. So an instant classic. We hope you guys enjoyed Howard the Duck. But before we finish up talking about it,
man, you said you're gonna win by just getting one right.
It's so because of all of these failed attempts at 3s and 5s, the only bet to hit tonight is that Howard the Duck will play at least one musical instrument. Seth is our champion. I think this is a back-to-back one. He gets the LeBron again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, oh, man. Yes! You're the duck whisperer.
I can't do that noise. Like
I don't know if it's going to make it into the final cut, but Seth attempted a duck noise there. Didn't go well.
I can't do it.
Oh, buddy. Well, Chef, as our champion, you got to lead the way in reviews. And let me remind you, we start at 1.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it at the very least it was entertaining for chunks of it. We start at 1. We'll say 1.5. We'll do 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah. I was leaning on 2.
Half-star extra.
I was leaning.
And by the way, unless you can think of a better pull quote, I'm going to go with, at the very least, it was entertaining.
Perfect.
Oh, man. I came in at a 2 out of 5 here. So I guess I liked it a touch more than Chef did. But there's not a lot of great that I can say here. I think it was charming at times. The pull quote for me is going to be, it was downhill from the duck puns. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a 1. I guess does 0 exist on our scale? Okay.
I thought about this earlier, and I don't think we can give 0. I guess we could have discussion about a half star, which I think is possible on Letterboxd. But you know, I suppose if we're trying to dig down below the lowest, then I guess we have to figure out where the basement is.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just say a half point. Like in that point, that means unwatchable in my mind. And I wouldn't say that this was unwatchable. There was fun moments. There was very crazy things. I would say that there was a lot of creativity that was unharnessed. I appreciate just the wackadoo of all of this movie. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5.
I love it.
And I guess my poll quote. Yeah, I appreciate wackadoo. Yeah, let's put that as my poll quote.
All right, Chef. Well, you came in as the low score at 1.5. J-Buck and I both at 2. Where are we going to end up for our show review?
Let's give it a 2.
Hey, it gets a 2.
We'll do the consensus pick.
There we go. Howard.
Howard.
Or no, how's the song go? Howard the Duck. Woo! I don't know. Whatever the
that song definitely didn't stick.
Yeah, the fact that you even remember a line of it is a lot more than I'd give that movie credit for having people stick in their minds.
I just finished watching this movie like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Oh, man. So we got Howard the Duck in at 2 out of 5. You can rent this online. You can go find it at Blockbuster, perhaps. I rented it online myself. But Howard the Duck, you can go see. There's lots of iterations of this character if you are interested in finding other versions. I imagine the other ones are more goofy and entertaining in kind of the modern sense. But make sure you hit our Letterboxd and friend us up so that we can see your reviews. And we're going to be back next week to introduce a new film, which means, Seth, that we need to have a new topic. And so as our back-to-back champion, do you have a topic in mind for our next film?
I think we've been talking a lot about Howard the Duck, 80s, all that good stuff. We've also been talking a lot about horror lately with our reviews and whatnot. So I thought let's go ahead and combine those, and let's do the topic for next episode, 80s horror.
Oh, this could be fun.
You guys, I have seen so much 80s horror. We are going to have to dig deep here.
Oh, no.
We might be watching like the 4th or 5th Freddy Krueger movie by the end of this.
if we need to and it gets too obscure, we can expand it a little bit to the 90s.
80s and 90s horror. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. 80s and 90s horror. There's going to be some stuff. For sure. Most of the franchise stuff I've seen. Let me ask you this just before we go into the search for these.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of franchises,
mm-hmm.
So like if there's a part of a franchise that we haven't seen, are we open to dropping into the middle of a franchise, or do we want to eliminate that kind of thing from happening?
I would say we can put it. I would say that we can. I would lean away from doing that, but I'm not opposed to it.
Cool. Okay. In case of emergency, we'll break glass on Nightmare the 13th or 5 Dream Warriors.
Hell yeah. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Dude, Jason. Oh, if Jason X came out in the 90s, then we're probably about to watch Jason X.
I've never seen it.
Oh my goodness. Well, make sure you guys come on back next week for some 80s and 90s horror talk, and we're going to pick our next film to review. And if the 80s streak that we have had going holds, we're going to see some more boobs. And so at the very least, you've got that to look forward to. Before we let you go, want to let you know a few things that you can go catch in theaters. These are all films that are either out now or coming out this weekend. But we've caught each of these. Let's start with, well, okay, I'm impatient. The one that I am most excited to talk about is Obsession. And the first thing I'm going to say about this is, Seth, I need you to see this movie. I also need you to know you're going to really hate parts of it, but it is Obsession is so good. I have this in my top 5 for the year. No qualifications, not even just horror. I thought this was really excellent. So with Obsession, it's a pretty simple premise. You have a guy who wishes that a girl he knows was in love with him, and he gets what he asks for. And that is the entire plot of the movie. It's got 95% right now on Tomatoes. The director is Curry Barker. This was made on $1 million budget. These guys are going to get so rich.
I think as of recording, it's already made 17 million. So profitable. But jumping off of what you're saying about the plot, it's very straightforward. It's just like boy has crush. He makes wish, gets his crush. But weirdly, the thing that I got coming out of it, first off, I'm going to echo what you're saying, Cody. I'm not the biggest horror fan. This is in my top 5 right now. Like, this movie was an experience. It was scary. It was relatable. It was awkward. It was actually funny at times. It balanced this weird tone of just oh, I'm watching a real life relationship, but it's turned up to an 11. And there were scenes of this of like friends told me this happened to him, or other scenes of a relationship, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I lived that relationship." And it hits on a almost like a relatable horror of almost everyone that's been in a relationship or had a crush, this movie resonates with.
Yeah. You've seen this is like having the girlfriend be the scary part of the movie is a really interesting
Yeah.
thing. It's kind of like it hits in a weird spot, kind of similar to like the mom or the preacher or any of these other kind of things, because it's really easy to find those things that everyone is going to have experienced, and they just twist it a little bit and make
Mhm.
it so fucking scary.
Yes.
You will never, you will never, you will never hear the sentence, or you will never hear the phrase watching you sleep the same way for the rest of your life after you see this movie. And there's so many of those little things that are just like, you've been through this, but you haven't had it scare the shit out of you this much. And when it gets scary, I like covered my head, like my feet lifted up off the ground type, like yelled out
I
loud.
was audible when there were scenes. I was like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
or like, "Oh no."
There was a lot of holy shits.
Yeah, and the thing is, that was the whole theater is everyone every now and then would have an outburst of just because the way it's crafted, you don't really not bored, but like you get an electric shock to the chest every just random amount of time, and you're like, "Oh my god, I did not expect that to happen."
Yeah.
I,
Are we selling it?
no. Everything about the movie sounds great. I just don't want that experience. I don't want electric shocks to the chest when I go to the movie theater.
I loved it in the most like awkward, uncomfortable. Like at the end of the day, when the credits rolled, I was like, I'm glad I went in on this like ride or this experience. But during it, yeah, there were some just creepy movements. The way the lighting was, again, that actress is committing 110%. But even the scares or whatever, the core idea, there's a lot of lore here, kind of like we talked about weapons with,
Yeah, there is.
Aunt Gladys and the spell and stuff. There's some very interesting concepts here that I think the director Curry Barker or whatever even mentioned that like, yeah, there's potential sequels. We could do a spin-off TV show, and it could be, it doesn't need to be horror. It could be like each person just gets a wish, maybe it comes true, maybe it doesn't, go from there.
Wow.
So I think just the idea of, this was made on $1 million. They struck gold
Gold
with
mine.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be who put this out? Was it
Oh, I can't remember. Was it Focus Features?
I was gonna say if it's a Universal or Comcast related company, absolutely they're doing a Peacock series.
Yeah, it would make sense.
I just picture that being
Focus.
Do you know what who they're owned by?
They're a Universal.
Yep. There's
Yep,
absolutely
there you go.
there's absolutely going to be a Peacock series. And here's the thing. It seems to me like all these horror movies you guys have been talking about in May and April. It just sounds to me like I'm going to be watching a lot of horror at home in the next few months because I don't want to go into the theater and see these. I just don't.
Which is fair, but this one you have to I think just movie wise, this is going to be on people's top list for the year,
see
probably.
It.
Yeah,
but it's going to be in a month when it's on Peacock.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I can't even lie or sugarcoat it. This is going to scare the shit out of you a few times, and in the ways that you hate. So, definitely be aware. I guess here's what I'm going to say about Obsession. My pull quote is going to be, Obsession is the cliff jumping of movies right now. It is, everyone who's done it is going to tell you need to do it. It looks awful and is terrifying the entire time. But once you finish, you're going to be glad you've done it. And then you're going to go tell other people that you want to do it. So that's Obsession right now.
Well,
100%.
I'm going to do the indoor skydiving version of skydiving in this case.
That's so good. Oh man. So the other film that came out this last weekend, and this one Seth and I went to, not together, but
I flew to Bend to go see
that would have
it.
been really sick.
Nice matinee.
I don't know if a lot of people have heard of this one. It's called Is God Is. And the person I knew in this one was Vivica A. Fox. She plays a mom in this, and the setup of the story you'll get from the trailer is that you have the mom and you have her twin daughters, and the movie follows the twin daughters. The mom, who they've not known for quite some time, the mom reaches out to them and asks them to go find and kill their father. And the reason for that is because their father was horribly violent, and all three of them are burned because of him. They all have like burn marks, and they've all had lives where they had to walk around with burn marks. So what you watch is these twin girls, on this quest to potentially like track down and kill their father at the request of their mother. So it's a relatively straightforward plot. But it is stylized in a really cool way. It has this kind of grungy, kind of sweaty feel to it. But I think the thing that won me over is the relationship between the twins. I thought they nailed the casting on this. So it is Kara Young and Mallory Johnson are the twins. And they do this cool thing where they talk to each other without having to talk, which seems like a very sibling twin thing to do. They have kind of opposite personalities, which works really well and fits in with the whole film. And Sterling K. Brown has a very interesting role in this, an important one, but he doesn't have a ton of screen time. And so I think this whole thing comes together in a really cool way, and it's only 100 minutes. I'm going to recommend it to anybody. I don't know if this qualifies as Black homework, but this is a really, really good Black movie. But I don't know. You probably don't have to be Black to enjoy it, but I really liked it.
I can attest.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Chef agrees. So yeah, what do you think of it? I said about that all there is too, but what do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree with you on everything you said. The other thing that I liked with when you talk about their ability to communicate, the twins, when that happened, it's either through voiceovers or they did actual like subtitles on the screen. So they're just like looking at each other, like acting with looking at each other based on the subtitles on the screen. I thought that was really cool. And then some interesting, like they played around with some of the colors. Interestingly, with like the blood sometimes would be like highlighted with like a duller color on the screen for everything else. There's also a couple of Sterling K. Brown and then Janelle Monáe.
Oh yeah,
she was in that. Yep. So interesting cast. There are definitely some people in there that I didn't know, but then like there was some random little pop-ins there too. Sterling K. Brown is just awesome though. Like his character is terrible in this movie, but seeing him, like the way he just always transforms into whatever he's doing.
Yep.
He was America's Dad for a year, like 10 years, as Randall Pearson, and now he's like a CIA agent in Paradise, and then now he's in this movie playing like a psychopath. And in every single role, there's something unique about it, where it's not just like that's Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah, he's convincing here.
Yeah,
and fucking scary when he tries to be.
Yep. Yeah, no, I really liked it a lot. This was interesting too, in that I had no idea what this movie was. I just knew Sterling K. Brown was in it, and I was like, okay, let's go. Because when I first saw it, maybe like a month or so ago, it was like popping up in the future stuff. I first thought it was one of those like religious movies, like a documentary or like whatever. And so I kind of skipped by it. And then as the schedule for the week was out, I was kind of scrolling through and I clicked on like what it was just to see. And then I saw Sterling K. Brown. I'm like, okay, well, even if this is a religious movie, it might have good quality to it. And then I read the plot and I was like, oh, okay, this is not a religious movie.
Very much not. No.
But no, it was really good. It was a surprise. I had no idea what to expect. So go in blind, and I think you'll really, really enjoy it.
With what you guys are saying and just like the tone and stuff, it sounds like in my brain is like mixing like Kill Bill with like Death Proof.
I think you're close there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A
It's
little
not.
bit less stylized, but you're close
Yeah.
there. Yeah. I thought it had a Tarantino feel,
Yep.
a less flashy Tarantino feel. So I
Mhm.
think you're on the right track.
Okay.
Yep.
Not as like gory or actiony. There's
Right.
definitely some gore and some action to it. I think they actually, because it's based off of it. Did you mention this? It's based off a play.
Right. I
Oh,
found that out
okay.
afterwards.
Yeah.
The play would be amazing.
And you can tell there. It's funny because you think about a movie like Fences, where you could tell that's a play the whole time.
Yep.
I think this one kind of goes in and out where it's like, there's enough of it that's changed or done differently to like specifically for a movie, but there's also scenes where and things that they do with the camera, that you can tell it's based off of play or is probably better in play form in certain scenes, and so they kept that. But the director and the screenwriter did the play also, so this is their first movie. So I would suspect, because it's getting really good reviews. I think it's in the high 90s on Tomatoes. I think this director will go on to do more stuff. Like they'll probably get more opportunities to do their work. I don't know if they have any more plays at all, but I was impressed with that, especially for being a first movie. I was pretty impressed with that.
So this is Alicia Harris. Is God Is was her 2018 is when that debuted. That won her the American Playwriting Foundation's Relentless Award when the play was written in 2016, and then they produced it in 2018. She's got 2 other plays, What to Send Up When It Goes Down and On Sugarland. So we'll see if we get adaptations for those. You make a really good point there, Chef. This is not one where they just park a camera and run the play.
Yep.
It was very additive with how what they gained, the resources they gained by being a movie, they put them to good use everywhere.
Yep.
I thought. So yeah, I thought this was very cool. So even if you have seen the play, I imagine this will be additive. I really want to see the play. I'm very intrigued to see how they do some of these things differently. But Is God Is out now. Obsession is also out now. And this weekend, you can catch our third movie, which is called Tuner, Tuner. And this is another one that I think has surprisingly little press, but I think it's because of the there's not a lot of pop or like famous people involved in it. So directed by Daniel Rower, it was written by him and Robert Ramsey. The stars are Leo Woodall, Havana Rose Liu, Lore Diaz Tova. Like, you don't know any of these people. Dustin Hoffman is the most famous person, and he's kind of your old guy guide character. So the most succinct thing I can tell you about Tuner is picture Baby Driver meets The Sound of Metal. So you have a character who has a very interesting hearing problem, where basically his hearing is way too strong. So he has to walk around with earplugs all the time. And if he takes his earplugs out and there's a loud noise, it causes him to like really fucking fall apart and throw up, and it's all terrible for him. The way he puts it is he's allergic to loud noises. So he finds out through some stuff that his ears make him uniquely talented at opening safes. And so much like Baby Driver is excellent with a car, our guy, the tuner, because he's a piano tuner, starts to work out his new talent of getting into safes. And
I have seen the trailer. This movie looked really cool.
It is very cool. I enjoyed it a lot. So the Baby Driver comparison, you have to tune down the Edgar Wright style of it all.
Okay.
It's much more grounded and more about sound, less about music. If you understand Baby Driver, you know what I mean there. But the sound design is really cool on this. Highly recommend seeing it in a theater, because you get to hear along with him a lot of what he goes through, which is really interesting. I don't know that this is going to get a lot of press, but if you can hear me, go see it, because I'm going to recommend it. This would be a good one to watch at home, but again, catch it in the theater if you can, because of the sound. I think this is going to sneak past a lot of people and then get on a lot of people's best of the year lists. And a lot of like pretentious people will be able to brag that they saw this and you missed it. So don't be one of those people. Go see Tuner.
Yeah, you really sold me with that bank robbery or the safe angle. I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is. They're well done movie, very creative. And I haven't seen a lot of I didn't see Sound of Metal. I didn't see like Coda, which is one that you guys love. I haven't seen a lot of the movies about hearing and deafness and those types of things. So I don't know if it'll land the same with you guys that have seen more of that. But with me, it was super effective. So catch it in the theater if you can. So that's Tuner, which is coming out this weekend. And then Is God Is and Obsession are both available now in theaters. We're recommending all of these. So go do a triple feature this weekend and catch those, or, you know, spread them out if you have other things to do. I don't know why you would. I don't. That's going to wrap us up, though, for this episode. Don't forget to head over to Letterboxd and check out our review of Howard the Duck. Friend us up over there so we can see your review as well. We are going to be back next week to let you know which 80s or 90s horror movie we are going to be watching. So make sure you come on back and check it out. For Jared Buckendahl and Seth Ott, I've been Cody Michael, and we'll see you next time.